I got you. We good. All right.
We good? We on?
We're on.
Wow, that was a cluster. Almost as bad as the Jags game. Getting this thing going here.
Seems like a theme here.
What a letdown.
Nobody's preseason ready.
And not the lights go off.
It's all good. Just gotta keep rolling.
Y'all, you know what? The way the Jags season started is the way that this is starting. It is the instant reaction show. You got to plug that in, Miles. It's the instant reaction show. Brought to you by ABC Fine Wine and Spirits, which if you watch the Jag game, then you're going to need the ABC part of this day. It's the NFL. Like, you need it. Like, it's part of it. Get to ABC if you've run out. If you've had too much, send somebody to ABC, or I think they
deliver.
Yeah, there you go.
I don't know if they're doing on
one
Sundays,
of those type of things. I don't know what Miles is doing. We're in all kind of a mess here.
Oh,
now.
Just trying to get the light right.
Jags go down today. It is the instant reaction show, like I said, brought to you by ABC Fine Wine and Spirits. The Jags. Wow. I mean, that's really all you can say. What we're gonna talk ourselves off the ledge somewhat in a minute, but I mean, we'll start with just the same reaction that fans that have watching this is of it doesn't look any different than it ever has. It's you build up, you're the offseason champions, and you go and you get excited and you Duval and you buy your jerseys and we see renderings and we see all this kind of stuff, only to go out on the field and lay a complete and utter egg and not look like you're even an NFL team.
Yeah, it was weird. They look unprepared. They look like they have been doing a lot of effort drills as opposed to actual drills that you need to get better with. And I didn't see at any point them look like they could act. They were actual functioning NFL team.
No, I agree.
Even some of the, now granted, I'm not going to go over the top when it comes to how Trevor played and some of the throws. That's your job. That's what you do a lot better than most people. But even the inconsistency where the ball was put, like, I heard commentating and I saw on Twitter, oh, you got to make that catch. And yes, I want to preface this by saying you are paid to catch the ball, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's a lot, but he's also paid to throw the ball into the proper space. Now, if it's a tight window, throwing it behind you, I get it. That kind of does protect the ball from an interception. But when you're open on a drag to a tight end who maybe gets, if on a great tight end gets 5 targets a game, you're talking about a guy who's going to get 2 to 3 targets. And James O'Shaughnessy hasn't been a pass catching tight end in his career. You're throwing it behind him, back to back passes behind him. Also, we talk. What is the biggest strength for a rookie quarterback or a quarterback play that's not that great coming off of this season? It's a strong running game and a good defense. You didn't run the ball, and your defense is ass and putrid. So, and it was really, 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 really bad defensively. Like, I can't, like I don't even understand like what the defensive concepts were. Like, I get we pick on Taven a lot, and there's tongue-in-cheek jokes about Taven, but damn, is there a Taven on every level?
I mean, okay,
you're getting bombed on the first drive by Tyrod Taylor, a guy who comes off like as a free agent. Like they stabbed him in his lungs so that they could start the rookie.
But let's try to have some organization to this.
Okay.
Because we could just go off all over.
Yeah.
But let's start in one place and let's go to the other. Let's start with the offense because I think that's what everybody wants really to talk about at first. And let's start like this. You're right on everything you said about Trevor. We can talk about the drops all we want to talk about the drops. The ball placement was not good. Now, there are times, and I want to make sure that we're accurate on this, and I can't wait to pull some film, and we got to do some stuff with their film this week. We have to.
Okay.
Because there are some times where he threw the ball in places where it's like, wow, like he saw that. And yes, it does take a great catch, but he threw the ball in some places that created separation for receivers. Now, you can have those wild plays all you want to, but if you don't hit the wide open guys, and the NFL wide open is me to you, right?
Right.
Like, if you don't hit the wide open guys, those wild plays are irrelevant. And that's where he messed up today, is the wide open guys. The 90% passes, he was like 50% on. And you can't win football games that way. Before we throw it all on Trevor, though, the other thing that is a rookie quarterback's best friend is a run game. Bro, why the hell didn't they run the ball at all? What's the deal? Like, why was your game plan to come out? And I was the one saying during the week, I wanted them to be aggressive. My bad if you listened, Herbs. Like, I didn't mean throw it every single down. That's not what I meant.
Coming out the gate, now before I left, because I'm sorry, judge me if you need to. I didn't finish the entire game.
We had to come over here.
Yeah, I had to come over here, but I also just didn't feel a need to finish the rest of it. That's why I said you want me to come on over, like, so we can go ahead and get this thing over with. When I left, I heard the commentator say something that was truly puzzling to me. That Trevor threw the ball 52 times.
I'm pulling up the official stats right now.
At that point, somewhere
he threw it 51. He threw it 51 total. No, that was when you were here.
That was when I was here. Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know. I'm still in shock. My point is, that's not optimal. And I get why they did it with Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow had the 63 pass game, right?
Mm-hmm.
Joe Burrow didn't. Well, I don't know why. Actually, Joe Mixon's a good running back that they have there. So again, questions there, but like, you literally have 1,000-yard running back that you took. Not only did you not run,
how many rushes do you think you got?
I'm gonna go with 5.
That's it. You hit the nail around the head. He had 5 rushes for 25 yards.
How many did Carlos Hyde have?
James Robinson 9. You had 14 rushes between the two of them for 69 yards, which, by the way, is not a bad average.
Yeah, 14.
5 yards a carry.
Yeah, well, and that's what I always say. But you want your starter 70 yards a game. Now with the 17th game, I don't really know what the new standard should be, but 70 yards a game from your starter should win you a game. I don't want Carlos Hyde rushing the ball 9 times. I want James Robinson running the ball.
At least 17 to 18 times.
If nothing else, you get the game, you get the game over with.
And people are going to say, but they were down. No, go look at the way they started the game. Running was never a plan. And there were 2 rushes early in the game that were both good runs that got called back for holds. We're going to get to that in a second. I'm going to preface this by saying that what I'm calling this game is the Willie Taggart game.
Okay.
And I'll explain that in a second. But you cannot tell me that as a staff, you sat, I'm a pro Urban guy. So y'all don't misunderstand me. I'm still a pro Urban guy. But you cannot tell me that when you were game planning for this game over a week ago, that you sat down and you said, you know what? We think the way to win this game is throw the ball 51 times a game. We want to throw it over 50 times with our rookie quarterback, and we want to run it 14 times. We want to come out the gate and we want to throw it 9 straight times or 10 straight times, whatever it was that they threw it. You can't tell me that was the game plan. Like, if that was the game plan, then we got bigger problems.
Right.
We have way bigger problems. I don't understand. Like, there's 16 games left. I'm not panicking for the rest of the season. We're going to get to the good in a little while. But what I am telling you is you better get your crap together offensively if you want this kid to make it through the year.
Well, the other part of it is this. This was a game, one of the games that you felt like we should have a chance. With as much disarray as the Houston Texans are in, new quarterback that obviously wasn't supposed to be the guy to start. It's optimal you would have Deshaun Watson. They got rid of wide receiver. They are clearly in tank mode a year later, a year past prime to be in tank mode. This should have been a game that you get, because moving forward, I'm not gonna lie. When I went on First Coast News with Chris Porter and did the Jags special, the beginning of the schedule isn't as kind as what people would think.
Well, no schedule is kind when you suck that bad.
Well, no, I got that, but what I'm saying is this is a game like we talked about in preseason. How I said
It's the easiest game on the schedule.
I typically don't like the win lunch mentality, and I know what preseason is, but this is a team that does not know how to win.
Right.
You need to win. Now, not that mess that they're doing in practice where like they're taking away from actually getting people good, but like when you're in scrimmages or when you're in preseason games, they need to win so they know what it feels like to win a game. This would have been a great barometer for the season. Now, again, I'm with you because the NFL, just as hard as it is, even though people have done both, more recently somebody's done what I'm about to talk about, but just as hard as it is to go undefeated, it's hard to go defeated because later on in the year, people are
they're all pros.
Yeah. There's a sense of pride. You got to be on that field anyway. So, like as I joke with people all the time, which I don't understand when people quit, because there ain't no mercy rule outside of high school. You're just gonna be on the field, just getting your ass whooped over and over again, and that's what it was kind of feeling like. I will say kudos to Trevor, and I think that's the youth. Like for continuing to push and trying and getting the score late. But man, it was very, very difficult to watch for most of that game. The offense was offensive.
Yes, the game plan was horrendous. The Texans outcoached the Jags in every way you could outcoach them. Both sides of the ball. It was like one staff had coached football before, and the other staff had no idea what they were doing. That's how big of a gap there was in the two staffs. Trevor, I want to be consistent about this because I said before the season, I was like, what you want out of this season is you want to come out of every game where you go, holy cow, that's a potential top five quarterback. And he had those moments today. He had like the ball he threw, the second touchdown he threw was a freaking piss missile. Like that thing was on a rope. There's very few people with arm talent like that. So you got that. And I'm not going to double back on that. That you should be excited about a lot of the things that Trevor did. And we'll get to the interceptions in a second. What I'm not excited about right now, and these are my guys. When I say things like I know it's going to get back to them, college and pro, but the offensive staff, that was horrendous, guys. That was terrible. That I don't know that I've seen a game plan that bad. If you thought you were going to get out there and get into just a track meet with another NFL team, then it's going to be a long year. And if I'm James Robinson, man, I'm walking straight to Urban Meyer's office. I don't give a damn who it is. I'm going, yo, what's my plan? Like, I got 5 carries in the first game of the year. I trained all year. I'm coming off a 1,000-yard season for 5 freaking carries. You have to give me some answers, man.
Were you guys really trying to replace me? Like, did y'all? I know you drafted Travis Etienne, but forget about the rookie for a second. I actually produced in the NFL.
He produced today when given the chance.
What it looked like was everybody was a rookie. I'll give Herbs is a rookie, but some of those other coaches do have some experience.
Bevel is an experienced play caller.
Now, unless you're telling me, like you just said with the Willie Taggart thing, that the Willie Taggart rumors that he tried to call the offense and the defense. Now, if you're telling me Herbs did that, then somebody needs to leak this. Because then it makes sense because of did you see the CBS report?
No.
That went viral right before the game saying Herbs has got serious anger management issues.
No.
It has been spilling out. And it kind of made me question because Chris Porter asked me that quite a few times in our Jaguar, our Ready to Roar special. And I'm like, I haven't heard anything about people not liking Urban. Everything I've heard is all smiles and Hallmark.
Yeah, I'm around these guys all the time. Now, I haven't been around them since camp, but I've not heard that at all.
Okay.
Well, but here's what I meant by Willie Taggart. Here's what I meant. When you watched, and I didn't watch the Florida State game. We're not going to get into it. We'll get into it tomorrow. We have plenty to get into tomorrow. All around. By the way, you do not want to miss tomorrow's Sports Den. When you watched Willie Taggart teams, one of the things that you saw was it just looked sloppy. It just like stupid penalties, stuff like that. That's what I mean. That's what this looked like. Multiple illegal formations, multiple 12 men in the huddle. We're talking about the NFL. We're not talking about I-9 where you had 6 in the huddle accidentally. We're not talking about
wow, you saw that?
No.
Oh, I was about to say because I actually did. That actually happened.
We're not talking about your middle school team that just played its first game last Wednesday or Thursday, whenever they play middle school games, and they had 12 in the huddle. They had some guy line up. We're talking about freaking NFL. We're talking about where you just got out of a 5-week camp and you can't line up right. Bro, I don't remember the last time that on the same play in an NFL game, both tackles got a penalty. It happened today to the Jags. The Jags changed everything about everything. They changed the coach. They changed the majority of the roster, and they still went out there and did Jags crap. They did things that only you see in Jags games. And I'm sorry, I'm his biggest fan, but that goes straight on Urban Meyer. If you're the attention to detail guy that we all are supposed to believe you are, how do you come out of the first game and look just like Doug Marone's teams looked?
Doug Marrone, we got to remember Doug Marrone took a team to the third round of the playoffs.
Well, I understand.
Doug Marrone's teams last year, again, I don't believe they're a 1-15 team. They were a 1-15 team, but I believe they could have won more games. This right here is probably one of the worst first game performances I've seen as we've been covering the Jaguars.
Oh, no doubt. No doubt. We said in the preseason, and Cap reminded me on Twitter today, we said this in the preseason, when you watch the Jags, they have no plan offensively. They're just calling random plays. That's what it was today. There's nothing to set anything up. There's nothing to help Trevor. Bro, you are down 4 scores and you run a naked boot late in the third. You're going to get the guy killed. This is the same OC, by the way, that threw the ball on the 1-yard line. Now, that's Pete Carroll. I'm not going to do that to him. That was Seattle.
I know what you're talking about. I'll never, because people put something, because every Friday or every Friday and Saturday, lonely black women love to post the Russell Wilson Sierra thing against Future, and they say, why do y'all hate him? Why do y'all hate him? I said, I don't hate him because of anything besides throwing an interception on the 1-yard line. That's the only reason I hate Russell Wilson.
All I'm suggesting is maybe we talk about the scripts, the first 15 scripts. Let's revisit that, Bevel and Shoddy. Let's revisit that a little bit and maybe work some runs in. Maybe go, hey, you know what? In play 2, let's see how they line up to this, so that in play 7 we can come back to this. Or let's motion to this. Let's see how they play this, and maybe that'll set this up. And I'm not saying that they don't already know that. It's obvious they do. They're coaching at a very high level, but it's not showing. It's not showing at all. And it didn't show in the preseason, and it's not showing now. Like you look like you're calling plays that you think will work right then, and that's not how this works, guys. It's not. But that's what it looks like. And that's the result you're going to get. You're going to get unorganized. You're going to have people that look like they've never practiced before because they don't know the plan. It would be like if I gave you something and said, hey, the end result is I want you to put together this bed, and I want it to look like this, but I didn't give you the how-to all the way through.
Just freestyle.
Right. So you're screwing something in and realizing, well, I can't do that now. I got to do that later. Right? That's what this offense looks like. It looks like you went and bought an IKEA piece of furniture, had way too much from ABC, and said, I'm not going to read the directions. And then at the end of it, like, you may get it half done, but it ain't going to be safe and it ain't going to be sturdy, and you're not going to get anywhere with it long term. That's what this offense looks like right now.
And again, I want to go back to the running game and how I understand the pieces, but how disrespectful, because I want to know, can you have the stats, right? Did you, or you had them up still?
Yeah, I got them.
How many receptions did James Robinson have? Because he got, I believe he had like 2 or 3 catches.
Yeah, I know he had a drop. Let me see. 3.
Now, that's a problem.
Don't worry about that right now, Miles, while we're on.
Yeah. The reason why I have an issue with that is because, again, you're trying to make him something that you tried to draft as opposed to using what his strengths are. Just run the ball with him. Go downhill. That's how we want James Robinson's carries. We don't want him as a wide receiver and working at a wide receiver position or swinging out. Like, you got to do what you got to do. But again, like you said, there was no rhyme or reason. Typically, things set up the next play and so on and so on. It felt like when you're playing Madden and you know these plays. You just feel these plays are going to work against
Right.
the AI.
Yep.
And it's really no rhyme or reason. It's just you're going to do it. Unfortunately, against real people, that's not how this thing works.
It's not. It's not. Let's jump to defense, and then we'll come back.
Ooh,
come back.
Can I ask you, how difficult is it to defend a bunch?
I'm so glad you're going there.
Because it shouldn't. It just like defense, just like an odd man front on defense is put up so that you can throw a variety of blitzes to confuse the offensive line. I understand why you run a tight bunch. I get it in high school for people to blow coverages and not understand it. There's only 20 hours a week that you get in college. Mm-hmm. I can understand it in college a little bit. But to look like you have never seen this before.
It's unbelievable. It is unbelievable.
If you did not purchase, because that's what they did. That's what free agency is. If you did not get a guy in Griffin, if you did not draft CJ Henderson, why go get Cisco if you're not going to start him?
I want to get to him in a minute. Yeah.
I don't understand why. And then forget that even when guys are actually having like contested, like how are we always missing the 50? It's called a 50-50 for a reason. 50% of the time you're supposed to win too.
Bro, let me set the stage for you here. 3rd and 5. Okay. You rush 2. That means you drop how many? I know you didn't major in math, but you dropped 9, which means you're in zone coverage, right? Because you're not in man coverage dropping 9. How the hell do you rush 2, drop 9, and you still get pinned on a pick play? Tell me how that's possible. How do you drop 9? People, just think about this for a second. If you drop 9, you should be able to cover the width of the field fairly easily, correct?
You got back. Ends are out here.
Like you're good. You're good. You should not give up a 7-yard pick play. How did you get pinned when you drop 9? And that's the kind of stuff, like, you can't even put that on coaching. That's situational awareness. It's 3rd and 5. We're dropping 9. Let me sit here in my zone. Let me not follow this pick play. It's not that freaking hard.
If you're telling,
why do people get to Jacksonville and go stupid?
Because it is coaching. It can't be everybody's you can't be in the NFL if your situation. You can't be playing if your situational awareness is consistently that bad. Like something is like frying their brain. It's not the water ain't that bad.
Did you see the play I'm talking about?
No, I didn't.
I can't. We're bringing it up. We're bringing it up this week.
I just know how I got in town 12:50.
Mm-hmm.
Had some leftover stepped on chicken. If you follow me, you know what I'm talking. What stepped on chicken is to me. They don't pay me, so I'm not giving them any sponsorship. And it had macaroni and cheese, so I went, fixed me a plate, thinking I'm good. And then I chill, I come to the couch. Trey is still there, and then I see, man, I can't even think of the receiver's name. That just seems like every catch he got was Mawson. Terrible throw by Tyrod Taylor.
Cooks.
Yeah, Cooks. Cooks cooked them.
Cooks kills the Jags every time they play. Doesn't matter what team he plays for.
2 DBs. The one with one of them, the twin with the good hand. He throws it up.
Really? We don't need to go there.
No, I'm just saying, like, I want people to. I don't remember. I don't know if he's Shaquem or Shaquille, but I know it's the one with 2 hands. All I know is Cook throws it up. Now, because if the one with 1, I would be like, you know what? Hey, I get it. It was good coverage. 50-50 chance you're going to bat a ball down. But here, my man comes up and he dunks on both of them. One of y'all could have laid him out. One of you could have got a pick. It's Tyrod Taylor, man.
It is Tyrod Taylor.
It's not. Like, we're not talking about an elite quarterback.
It's not even it's not even a starter. It's not even an NFL starting quarterback.
The score ended up, they put up 34 on our defense, right? At one point, that's what it was. Should have been more.
37. It was 37-21. 37 with a non-starting quarterback and one receiver. And you just watched the game, and most of you can't tell me who their running back was. Let's let that settle in for a little bit. Like Mark Ingram is their running back. Okay, Mark Ingram was
like at least 42 years old.
He's 26 carries, 85 yards. Meanwhile, our second year running back that just had 1,000 yards got five carries. Andre Cisco, I'm gonna say I'm guilty of this because Walker Little in camp looked phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
He was inactive today. He wasn't even part of the 45. As best I know, and let me check the stats here, I don't think Cisco got in the game.
I think they made the switch with Wingard. That was
okay. Cisco did have a tackle. Why is Wingard? Why is he on the team? Are you telling me that throughout the United States of America, there's not somebody better at this than Andrew Wingard? Is that what we're supposed to believe?
Yes, Andrew Cisco. Or Andrew said whatever Cisco's name
is. And Cisco definitely, I mean, okay. I don't care how much, I don't care if he is worse. He's your rookie. We don't know. He may be a gamer. Maybe he's not a good practice player. He may be a gamer. Put him out there. We know what Wingard is. Like, you can't do that. And 45 is not any good. He's just not. Caleb Chason, sorry, man. Sorry, I've heard you are an awesome guy. I really have. And I hope nothing but the best for you. But, dog, I don't care if you're a 5th-round pick, much less a 1st-round pick. It ain't working. It's not working. My man has somebody squared up in the backfield and didn't just whiff. I don't even know if he got a hand on him.
Again, all the pundits, let me rephrase it. That's disrespectful to pundits. It's really just us local guys. Anybody we draft, we're going to talk great about. Well, I'm not. You're not. But, like, we're going to say, oh, this person was here, this person was that, and blah, 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 smackety. Instead of the fact that we drafted a guy, which was a reach, whose name was like Sack God or something like that.
Guru.
But he didn't do that very well in college.
Right.
He had in his career what we normally draft people in that position in a season. And not a high number. Not like 13 sacks. He had 9 sacks in his career, if I remember correctly.
I don't know.
And he was often injured.
Keep going.
We're talking about guys who and you let go and you shine and you constantly bicker back and forth about a generational talent to draft guys that you can get anywhere. You pick on one guy. I don't even know if he's in the NFL anymore. Our guy Yannick, is he playing? Like,
yeah, he's somewhere.
Like you bash Yannick, who he's supposed to replace. He ain't unique. I'm sorry, he's not unique or unique
or Yannick.
Well, however you say his name,
Ngakwe.
And people got the nerve to get mad at me for what I said on Friday.
What'd you say on Friday?
I said, I don't know I refuse to learn how to pronounce his name.
Oh.
I will learn your name when you make plays. You're non-existent right now. Or when I'm doing a campaign to run your ass out of Jacksonville.
He registered 2 tackles today.
That's not what we pay him for.
Taven registered 2 tackles.
Whoa. That's how you know it was slop time. It's cool. It's one of the coolest feelings in the world is when you're playing, whether it's pro, college, high school, especially in high school now that they got the 6-hour rule, is when you do your job on varsity.
6 quarter.
That's what I mean. You do your job on varsity and you're able to like let these young JV guys come and get some reps on varsity.
Yep.
Basically, if you want to know the perfect analogy of what happened to us, and even the score is reflective of it. Because if now I'm all confused with games. If the Texans decided to actually play 4 quarters, they probably could have beat us 60-0. Well, 60-7 because we did score one that wasn't in crap time.
I mean, I'm trying to find something because the way we used to structure this was like good, bad, ugly, right? I don't know what the good was. Trevor made some throws that were unreal. Mm-hmm. Okay, so that's the good. And don't misunderstand what I'm about to say about Trevor's interceptions for me saying that he is going to be the real deal, but they're going to have to get an offensive plan in place for him, especially in his rookie year. And if they don't have the weapons, they don't have the weapons. If they don't have the line, they don't have the line. But I don't believe that. I believe that DJ Chark and Marvin Jones and Laviska Shenault and James Robinson could play on just about any team in this league. Mm-hmm. I would argue that. Like, I think if any of those four became free agents, they would get paid. Okay. So you can't tell me he don't have weapons. I think that if you look at the line, all five of those guys, if they became free agents, they would get picked up and they'd be a starter somewhere.
Somebody would pay them. Yes.
Right. So I can't look at this and just go, it's all those surrounding him. So I have to go to the play calling, which is trash, garbage, absolutely miserable. He's going to make plays, but the 3 interceptions that he threw, I saw everybody on the first one talk about rookie mistake. You can't throw back across your body. Y'all get out of the 80s. Okay, it happens every single Sunday. Every single Sunday, we see people throwing across their body. It's not the same, guys. He's got to hit that throw. Mm-hmm. He has the talent to make that throw. Watch any game this afternoon in the 4:00 slate. Watch tonight's game. Watch Monday night's game. You will see that throw made time and time and time and time again.
You want to know who's making throws right now?
Who?
Jameis? Jameis.
Well, we're going to wrap this crap up
9
soon.
9 for 12, 2 touchdowns. A guy who when it was mentioned,
I guarantee you one of them was across his body. Guarantee you, without even seeing. I guarantee you, out of those 9 completions, one was across his body.
I'm gonna say this first. One of the guys who, when the mere mention of, do you take a Jameis Winston if you get a chance in free agency, it was scoffed. A guy who, again, threw a lot of interceptions, threw a lot of touchdowns, and a lot of yards. But one thing they actually showed the throw across your. Didn't they do this drill?
Yes.
The boy who got drafted in New York.
Yep.
Justin Fields has done this.
Everybody's
doing. Like,
y'all are showing me Mahomes highlights.
Aaron Rodgers is probably the one who really invented it. You've been talking about how you've got Tic Tac videos of all your high school kids doing it.
It's a part of the game, literally. It's something that we work on all the time, because if you roll left, hard left, which is what Trevor did, and you're not supposed to throw across your body, then what are you supposed to do? You're telling me you want him to hit that one little sliver of 1/8 of the field on the sideline? So anytime you get out of the pocket, the field proportionately shrinks. But how far out of the pocket is that what we're saying? Because I just want y'all to know, when you're tweeting this, like, oh, that's a rookie mistake. No, it's not. Like, he can make that throw. He's going to make that throw. When he makes it 2 weeks from now, y'all are going to be talking about, oh, that was the greatest throw I've ever seen. Mm-hmm. Like, it's in his bag. I don't know what the other 2 interceptions were. The other 2 interceptions were bad.
What's funny is
were bad.
That it was only 3 interceptions, because I counted possibly 6 that should have happened off of tips, guys missing them.
Maybe
part of the game.
Yeah,
part of the game. But I just mean, like, at a certain point, is your job as a coach and a coaching staff to, like, calm them down, because I think of one Denny Thompson said, was it after 3 interceptions? Mm-hmm. It's no longer the quarterback's fault.
That's right.
It's the coach's fault for keeping them in the game.
Yep.
And you can get kind of messed up. Like for that game, I'm not saying Trevor's going to be ruined. Obviously, next week is next week. He's young.
It wouldn't shock me if he came out next week and completed 80% of his passes and threw for 5 touchdowns. Like, he's that good. Just not a good day. And I'm sorry, I can't blame it on him. I mean, the 2 interceptions were really, really bad, but you put the drops, you put the play calling, you put all that together. Stacked against him. It's completely stacked against him. That game got out of hand early. Can we not do the thing defense where we celebrate every stop when you're down by 28? I'm not trying to be old white guy here. I'm trying, James. I'm trying not to be the old guy. That's like, look at these kids out there dancing.
Mm-hmm.
But can we not celebrate when you're down 28? Is that too much for me to ask?
No. But it's like DB celebrate. It's like the funny videos of like a DB, like a wide receiver completely burning the DB, and the ball gets overthrown and he claps, or the wide receiver drops it and he does all this stuff. Like you had a piece of that.
I don't know. The whole thing bothers me. I'm pissed off today, man. It's like the whole off season. It's going to be different, and I'm guilty. I said it. It's going to be different. Herbs don't let this stuff slide. Like Herbs got natties. Herbs has succeeded at everything he's done, and I know it's just one game. But, man, that didn't look any different than any other Jag game. If it would have been a clean game that they lost at the end, cool. It's not very good. It's not what it was. It was embarrassing. Not for me. I'm not embarrassed. I didn't play.
Yeah, I mean, it was just, and it was the first game. But when people say those things, I'm like, what are we supposed to say? Like, we're critiquing the game. We're critiquing the product that was on the field. It stinks this week. If it doesn't stink next week, we'll say it's good. The biggest thing is to not overreact any of it. I'm not going to go and say they're going to go defeat it. I'm going to tell the truth about how this is a bad game. Sometimes and a lot of things happen. Our opinion is that that they just did not look like an organized NFL unit. From a play calling perspective, a schematic perspective, any of those things. But what could also happen is the game gets away from you and it gets out of hand sometimes. And that could be very well one of the things. But next week, if they come out and they play well, demand of people who are covering this and yourselves to not go and say the Jags are winning the damn Super Bowl. There's still a lot of holes in this team, and what could have really happened that, we'll have to go back and watch it without the emotion and without the camera and maybe some other stuff, is maybe the holes that this team has, another NFL organization took advantage of it. The only thing that's really stopping me from giving them the props that they need is that nobody wanted this coach for the Texans.
I don't know how they would have taken advantage of anything when it was a whole new staff there too with the new quarterback. Like, it's not like we rolled out against the Saints or the Packers.
Maybe they knew that our offensive line was ass, and they knew they could do woo woo woo. Maybe they knew that we got a DB that sometimes forgets that he's on the field, and then we got another guy who's brand new. And then we got a guy at safety who nobody believes in. I don't know.
Well, what you're saying is and you're right. The reality is we could be here 2 weeks from today, 2-1, and this would be a long lost memory. And I think like if you're mad about this because you had these grand hopes of the Jags this year, I think that's probably your fault. Mm-hmm. I think at the end of the year, like if you see 6, 7, 8 wins, but you see glimpses of greatness from Trevor, and you see playmakers making plays, and you see some semblance of defense, then you should be happy. We're building towards 2022. Y'all don't get this twisted. We're building towards 22, 23, 24. This year is not and has never been a playoff team. Young teams get hot, though. And so if a week from now, the biggest growth, and I think it's oversaid, but I think it's true. Biggest growth in everything comes between the first time you do it and the second time you do it. Mm-hmm. And so I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt. I'm going to give Herbs. I'm going to give Shoddy. I'm going to give Bevel. I'm going to give everybody the benefit of the doubt. If we come out next week and it still looks as unorganized and it still looks like there's no overall plan, I'm going in. But right now, like, okay, maybe y'all just realize that we don't really have a plan. We need to get a plan. We need to get a game plan together for this week. I don't even know who they play.
Taking it week by week anyway.
Who do they play? Do you know?
No. The reality is that the Jags just aren't very good. And it'll take time. They play oh, my God. Please tell me that's wrong.
Who they play?
Oh, no. Okay, no, they play the Broncos. Okay. Whew. Now, the week after that, they play the Cardinals with the defensive end who had 3 sacks in the first quarter.
He ended up with 5. I mean, it is what it is, though. I really do believe, and I mean this, I believe that this team, they're going to beat some teams they're not supposed to beat. They're going to get hot, and you're going to see LaVisca and Chark and those guys make crazy plays, and you're going to see Trevor Lawrence make insane throws, and they're going to lose to teams they're not supposed to lose to. Like, that's what a young team does. You got the Broncos, the Cardinals, Cincinnati, and the Titans who got the doors blown off of them today. Like, I mean, it's 1 week.
We'll see what happens next week. And that's always.
I mean, if you need to blow off some steam, what you need to do is go to Green Acres, though. I mean, before we wrap this up, greenacresporting.com. All of your hunting and fishing needs, get to Green Acres. Make sure you tell them Sports Den sent you. They got the rifle. What's some of the specials? They got
$699 AR-15. Shout out to AR-15.
We'll talk about him a lot tomorrow.
They have a $299 Taurus 9mm pistol. Again, you don't have to buy those. That's just what's on sale. Buy whatever pistol you want. Everybody who I know who actually owns a Taurus has nothing but good things to say about it. And there's a bunch of people who are rich that own other things. So, hey, not mad at you. Buy what you would like to buy. They are the largest gun shop in the city of Jacksonville, 20,000 square feet. You can go on greenacresporting.com to check them out. Also, if you're a gambling person and you don't want to spend that much money for Christmas, they have a Black Friday drawing. If you go in there, raffle, excuse me. Yep. Yeah, you go in there, spend $20, you get 4 tickets for an AR-12. So they're Z and those guys are very.
You got to tell them Sports Den sent you, though.
Please, yeah. If you don't tell them the Sports Den sent you, I think $20 gets you 2 tickets. Right. But if you tell them the Sports Den sent you, you get 4 tickets. So that's blow off that steam.
To put a bow on this, we'll talk more about it as the week goes on. I don't know if we will or not because there's so much to talk about in college football. But we'll look towards next week's game. We'll dive into some film. I want to do some film review now that we have the setup that we have. Not panicked, but I can tell you this. They got 2 weeks to turn this thing around from the sense of if you don't look any different than the last couple teams, you're going to lose a lot of momentum in the city. A ton of momentum. You're the talk of the offseason again. This first month of the season is big, not just for your football team and how young they are and how they bought in now to the offseason program that you brought in if you were Urban Meyer, but also to the excitement around the Jacksonville area. You need to capitalize on that. And you need to just put a good product out there. And that was not a good product in any way, shape, or form. Forget the win or the loss. It was just a terrible product. You got anything?
That sounds good. That sounds good.
All right. It's the Sports Den. Make sure you get to ABC. Make sure you get to thehumidor.com for all your cigar needs. Make sure you get to Green Acres. We will be back tomorrow. We got so much to get into. Florida State. I did not watch the game. I saw the highlight tonight. Wow. Unbelievable. Anthony Richardson, Georgia. Still deciding on how much into that I want to get. We just got a lot. We got a lot. Miami, huge win for program building win for them down in Coral Gables. So much to get into. A big week of football ahead with Florida and Alabama this week as well. We'll get into all of that right here on the Sports Den. Make sure you tell your friends. Make sure you share the accounts. We'll talk to you tomorrow.